Hi, YouTube. Hey, welcome on in. Hey, in case you guys are wondering, it's the holiday weekend. And yes, I know the editors are probably having an extremely hard time getting everything up. It is what it is. I don't know what else to say. It is what it is. There's some difficulties getting through it, but I'm so fucking excited. I'm still doing this, and I'm not like, and I think this is a key anime to showcase it. I don't do it because I'm like, oh yeah, it's for the views or anything like that. Because this on YouTube isn't doing that great because of upload schedule of 100,001 things. I'm doing this because there's actually a lot of depth to this, because there's a lot of interesting things that we can devote ourselves into to analyze and truly go in depth, right? That's what I like about this show. I like the finality of it. I like the existential aspects of it. Just the way that this whole thing divulges into it. So I'm really, really curious. Where are we going to go? And with that being said, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. All right, here we go. Chat, would you still love me if I was a worm? I'm kidding. Really makes you feel like a Frieren. No. Well, thank you, Marlisle. At least you're fucking honest about it. Wow. Perhaps. Comfy bite, perhaps. Trick question. Well, you wouldn't love me, right? No, honestly, it's a really interesting philosophy from that, right? Which is the worm paradox, which is no matter how you answer, you might be in trouble, right? But is it the worm by itself? Would you be talking to a worm? Would you? Cookie Joe loves worms, apparently. But for yourself, when we're going to flip this narrative around, have you ever felt like a worm? In the endless sea that is time, and the endless aspect that is, the great sea of time and how it's passing and going through everything. Have you ever felt like a worm in life? I'll be honest, I have. I don't got to go that far, and I don't got to fucking go through anything. There's been times where I felt so small and insignificant, right? As though I wasn't really doing anything, that I was just a worm in a large pond of things, right? In the great sea of life and the great aspects of things and whatnot, sometimes being around, when have I not? I felt like a rat. Ultimate Kiwami, oof. But that's why I'm bringing it up. Like, for you guys, have you guys ever felt small and insignificant and as though there's nothing, like, that you could do to change a certain aspect in time in your life? And what did that do? Because time's going to keep progressing whether you like it or not. And did you have the ability to evolve and grow from it, get somewhere safe, and become the you that you are now? Or did you stumble and struggle to get to where you are? I'll be honest, I stumbled and struggled. But that's the way that life was for me. Don't worry, you had a large impact on at least 1,000 Swifts in your. Oh, Satan, thank you, man. I appreciate it, dude. You guys don't know this, but you guys like legit have had an impact on me as well, as an individual, as a creator that's trying to better his content, the way that I do things, present things, who I am as an individual, how I advocate for psychology and anime and all of these things. It's all thanks to you guys. You guys have been a big proponent to me bringing us up into the community, into the aspects and the realms and the circles that I'm in, being like, this is important to talk about. So I thank you. And I really thank you guys from the bottom of my heart, because it's been one hell of a journey, man. One hell of a journey from actually being like the first person to go up and start doing this stuff. Oh, a photo. I love this. There's something that I love about this, and it's the weight of his feet. It's the weight of his steps. The fact that like he's the other individual, right? He's trying to go and sit in this, enjoy the time, let time pass by. What does that have to do with me? And you can feel the weight of change coming. Yeah, shout out to the OST on this one. but you can legitimately just feel the weight of change that is coming through with this and the pressure that allows someone to go through, right? I felt like with all the uses of magic out there, there should be a few who know a few spells. Yeah, 100%. But this is a beautiful little moment here that I'm like, whoa. The OST pre-release just came out. Look at this. Look at this. It was a forceful grab of change. Him grab, because here's the thing. There's many different ways that you can grab a person, right? You can soft redirect them, right? But the way that he grabs with the firm grasp to get him up and get him going, interesting. Interesting because how did he change again? Yeah, some of them are available on YouTube. Ooh. How did he come to change again in the future? Did he do it because he was like, ready for it? Or was he being like this, like, the kid version here, where he was like literally just letting life pass by, sitting there, trying to keep everything normal until Frieren and the others came through and handled him out of there? Interesting parallels in just a way as to what causes him for change. Oh, oh. Oh, I had I guess I'll share this because this actually kind of hits me. I was thinking about this earlier today, which is around Christmas time, the holidays. As a kid, I would grow up and play with all the other kids in my neighborhood. I grew up poor. I was just straight up paycheck to paycheck. That's just the way that my family was. Trailer park, that type of mentality, right? And a lot of us, right, aside from doing martial arts and doing everything, we would hang out together, a lot of the kids in the neighborhood. And we would literally like center around some of like the big electrical boxes and just shoot the shit, try and go for some of the snack bags that had like, Pokemon cards, or they would have random things and we would trade and play there. And of course, as you start growing up, slowly but surely, less and less people start showing up, right? And I remember quite recently, one of my friends from that neighborhood passed away. And it's interesting because just looking back, how much of an impact, simply going back and sitting there, I'm reminded of like the kid version of me that would come up and be like, oh, let's play this or let's do that. And it's like, oof, it just like sunk in my heart. Like all of us were here playing a couple, like, so many years ago, we were all together gathered around here playing around and making big dreams for the future. And now there's only two of us that remain. Whoa. We grew up in an environment where gunshots was the normal, right? Going to sleep and there might be gunshots, there might be loud music, there might be certain things, and you would just sleep through that. But yet in the peaceful neighborhoods and as we grew up and we got into more, of a peaceful life, that became scary because that's not, you realize that, it's not, quiet means unsafe. So going through that and realizing that and going back into that moment and that self-reflection, it made me process that and it made me be like, wow, it's wild to see how much time has passed and how many of your original friends are still with you. And in fact, what happened to some others? The OST was beautiful. Sounds like my childhood. Oh, Ultimate Kiwami. Sorry, don't mean to go all fucking like deep and personal, but just a little reference point for me as well. Because seeing that, I'm like, some people can have profound impacts on your life and can really push you, especially as kids. We impact one another all the time, sociologically, to make changes. And yet, when we're grown up and we're able to look back on those, it kind of stings sometimes. It comes with a little bit of a sting with it. I'm curious for this episode, because there's a second core coming. Ed, no, stop. There's a second core coming for this episode. How did you feel about it? But we're not done. We've not done the MP. True. Oh. Good. Oh. $400 though? Please no. Please no. I'll stay for like a decade or so. Please no. We got shit to do, Frieren. We got shit to do. We got 100 girlfriends on Sunday. We got shit to do, Frieren. I'm sorry, but mommy, mommy, yeah, like Frieren, we got time. You know, we gotta pass through it, Frieren. I'm just being straight up about it, like. Oh, he waited for her. This ship is beyond our fucking universe, man. This ship is long gone. Look at them, dude. Even the length of like the distance between these two partners and these, like, you know, them two and them two. Look at that, dude. Look at just that chemistry and the fact that how they've changed and whatnot. Chat, what is the word? What is the word? The word that called all of this into being. What is that word, chat? Lena, do you know the word? Do you guys know the word? Fern is more open now. Yes. And she's going to keep getting more and more open. It's the P word. What is the P word, chat? What is the It's called propinquity. Fuck you, Skookog. You fucking pinned that comment, Skookog. I love you, man. That's awesome. Get ready for misspelled chat. That's so good. Skookon, why? It's called propinquity. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, if you use this word, any of your fucking psychology professors are probably going to be impressed, or they might not even know about it. But yes, it's called propinquity, and that is what allows us to get together and grow and feel love and all of these things. What everyone said. Yes. Oh. Bro, that's a grandpa's grandpa. Oh. 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 Caught off guard. See, now this old man reminds me of my dad. I'm just gonna be straight up about it with you guys. You guys are like, what the fuck? At any point in time in my family, we do this type of a thing, right? Which is called always being on guard no matter what. And especially as a martial arts family, it comes through with it. Which is he might come through and like he won't punch, right? But he'll focus punch or try and get really, really close or trip me or judo flip me or do something in that regard. And he's like, what did I tell you? Always be on guard. You never know. You never know what's happening. A couple of days ago, I went to go get some buñuelos that he and my mom made, right, from him. Yeah, yeah. And all of a sudden, right, he's like, hey, catch. He's like, here you go. And I grabbed him, and all he does is a fucking judo throw. He tries to judo throw me, and I land correctly, luckily. And I'm like, no, don't you do that to me. Because, like, he's a heavy set man. But, like, he knows how to fucking do it, dude. He's what taught me and my brothers how to do martial arts. And he's like, good. Like, he'll legitimately try and do a judo throw or, like almost punch you, but hold it, like, right in between and be like, what happened? Where's your guards? What's going through, right? It's like that thing where you're always careful not to see the wrong thing. But he doesn't do it with the sense of like it being angry. He does it with the sense of like where's like the defense mechanisms that we've talked about it. Casual Ed family greeting, judo throw. It's with the sense of like, hey, we've gone over this since you were 2-3 years old. You've been in martial arts. We've talked over self-defense, over how to go out and defend yourself, how to be careful, what to do in certain aspects. Even with my older brothers, sometimes we'll do that. Sometimes we'll lock wrist, right? We might be like playing and jabbing and whatnot. We'll lock wrist, and what we'll start doing is we'll start playing a game of like touch face, right? So like you got to try and overpower the other person and touch their face in order to see like blocks and smooth like fluidity with it. Love you, son. Judo throws you affectionately. Thank you, boss. Right? But yeah, sometimes old people have some good wisdom. God damn. Yeah, sounds like it. Oh. And he just takes it. Yes, mom. Why don't you trade with them for a bit? Yes, mom. You should want Nagatoro since judo becomes part of the story. Wait, what? Hi. For a decade. Ooh. Look at all these carrots. Oh. So what I want to bring up through this is we see the dynamics instantly come through, right? Specifically to do with this, right? Specifically to do with start falling back into the role of a student almost instantly. Yes, Frieren told him, sure, fall back in line or like, train with them or whatnot. But he just falls right back in line without questioning, like, hey, you know what? I can say no. I don't need to ask permission for this. I can go ahead and do certain things, but he falls right back into line because of that power dynamics. Maybe he reminds him of his master. Maybe there's certain things out there for this thing, instant relationship and power dynamic to happen. But that's so interesting. And it's interesting to put that into perspective and genuinely think about it. Like for him, yes, he might be going through the training and blah, whatnot. But doesn't this convey some core memories with it as well for him? The training that he did with Dyson or the training that he's doing all around, and for them to be sharing their stories along with them there. It's interesting. Oh, oh. Maybe Frieden knows, like, oh, dude, I can't. Oh, oh. Housewife Fern. But like, yeah, memory. Hold on. Did they bring an aspect of core memories with Fern and the other priest? Yeah, carrying a giant boulder like that on your back. But it's also showcasing, like, look, this is his years of experience. Tiempo de lágrimas. Sí, estoy a punto de llorar. Felt like a knife stab. It's the passing of the torch in a big way, right? In a big representation of like how much You know, what he's learned, how to pass it on to future generations, and through that, what the fuck is that bear? How did he move so quick? But through that, I guess comes through with like, we never truly like, yes, we know people come, their life comes to an end, but I feel like oftentimes we don't appreciate the amount of time that we have with someone, or the amount of time that like is available to spend with people. And life comes a little too quick. And sometimes we don't get the full lessons and whatnot that we expect, or maybe even full love that like we want to give or talk to or whatnot to our parents, grandparents, whatever. Oof. Oh, Frieren. Oh, oh. Right. My wife beloved. Ah, he's been there for 400 years. Get you a man like that. Oh, that hurt. Oh, oh, survivor's guilt. Well, aside from that, it's also like, you know, there are some people who, once they find their one partner, like, that's it. Like, some people live and die with that. And some people want to keep their memory alive because this is like what their partner cherished. So by keeping this village alive, they're keeping the memory of their partner alive with it. Satan, right? Oh, man. Yeah, this hurts. Many layers. I'm tearing up. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie, guys. Oof. Oh, that's even worse. Oh, this reminds me of that story. Yeah, dude, it fucking hurts. Do you think that Himmel thought about that with Frieden, so he refused to go forward with their relationship? Do you think that, or maybe it's because Frieden wasn't picking up on all the cues, Cookie Joe? Because you can only put on so many cues out there before you also feel like, is she ever truly gonna pick up on things? Man, that's reflective, dude. That is so reflective. Even for Himmel, right? Himmel and Frieden there, even in that situation, that is such a good mirror in that. You could feel just the quick pain going through. Oh, wow. Oh, no. John, no. Frieden. Oh, oh. I had a feeling he was gonna say that, but that's because Frieren is his goddess to him, and Eisen apparently. Two of the long-lived, like living individuals. Man, this hurts. This packs a punch in a lot of aspects. They created statues. They have long-living members. They're pushing through their philosophies and like who they were onto the future. No. Oh. Yeah. But do you truly remember his voice? Or is that what you think his voice was? Do you remember what they would say? Or is that a collection of what you think they would say? How would they react in a situation like that? Senoho. But the reason being is like, are you okay with the memory that you have of that person, of that individual, of that being, of whatever, right? Because it's not going to be 100% accurate, right? It's just a representation of that small period in time. Like, do you have a recollection of his voice or his face or his body when he started to go from being Himmel the hero to being Himmel the broken, to being Himmel the old, to being Himmel the one who waited, to being Himmel the one who held on to a promise, to a heart, to something that may never come through? Or do you only remember Himmel the hero? Man, talk about deep. I would have pushed back. Right. Oh. Oh, that carried fucking weight. Oof. Oof. Oh. Mikokoro. You're not ready for the fuck you, chat. I'm crying, dude. I'm fucking crying. What the fuck? I was crying earlier because of Eminence and laughing at it. Thank you, Lena. That cut deep, dude. That cut deep. I feel it deep, like personally, like deep in my heart on that one. And will we carry Bull's memory into the future? We will all carry Bull's memory into the future. I'll share this, and I mentioned this. Like, I've had my grandparents who, when they were at the end of their period of time, they were coming and going, and seeing it, the light come into his eyes, and the whole village is, it's like he's going senile, and there's this and that, Frieren comes back, and that light comes back in, and then it starts fading out, and you can start seeing that shift, and even just the aspects of like, what the fuck is going on, and if there is, that's oof, yeah, I cried for two different reasons today. And it's a beautiful line, right? Because there's a thin line between a comedy and a tragedy. Like, if you really think about it, there's just one thin line between one and the other, because a really good, like, tragedy can be a great comedy, and a really good comedy can be a great tragedy. Man, fucking deep show. Deep. The Demon King is dead. But by saying that, he doesn't have to worry that much about the demons. Keep him happy. Oh. What the fuck, dude? I can't, dude. What the fuck? Bro. Oh, this hurts. Yeah. Yeah, we're here for you, Ed. Well, thank you, man. This ain't pretty, dude. I'm over here. Vikri, hi, welcome on in. Appreciate you being here, dude. Feeding the end of life therapist. Not even, dude. Hi, welcome on in. Appreciate you guys. Holy shit, what a deep moment to come into. Why is he crying? Oh, this is just, that hurt. That fucking hurt. Guys, we're watching Frieren. It's welcome to the end of life fucking anime, dude. Oh my god, I didn't expect to just fucking be tearing up. I know it hurts, but it's so beautiful, but it also hurts. Raiders, go watch Frieren. It's so good. It legitimately is a really, really good deep show, but whoa. And Nishi, thanks so much for the follow-up. Appreciate it. Nope, no spoilers. Vikri, who heard him? Everyone did. Life does. Life has hurt me lately. It's I follow and leave. Bye. Appreciate it. No worries. How was your stream, V? I'll share this with you guys as a way of like giving this to you, right? Which is just another side story. When my grandmother was passing away, right? One of the biggest things is like, and you guys might get a little worked up about this, and trust me, I'm still worked up about this. Is I mentioned I didn't grow up in the best neighborhood. I didn't grow up like particularly, doing everything like 110%, like nor middle income or anything. As a kid, we grew up poor, and my grandma had her own little house, her own little everything. Fantastic individual. Everyone has their flaws. Don't get me wrong. But near the end of her life, it was always me and my mom that were always by her side. And she would just like, when she was in light, when she had like in memory, she would tell us all of these stories, right? Because she was filled with so many different stories from, her grandparents and like the way that they immigrated and 101,000 different things and cooking and culture. And she would talk endlessly on end. This was back when I was still in like early high school and I was just there taking in all of this information. There was some family stuff that ended up happening, some fucked up shit, like where I'm not going to go too deep into it, but essentially, this is being fought. Someone ended up, she had dementia. She was in the end stages of her life. Somebody ended up trying to get her to sign some papers, in when she wasn't in the right state of mind. I'll put it that way. This is something that I'm and so many other people in my family have tried to go ahead and get someone to look into, and 101,000 things, because it ended up just, destroying that segment, and it fucking hurt. Needless to say, going back into this, spending the amount of time that I did with her, I remember she told me everything. And as a teenager, I was just like, no, like, I kind of want to focus on like, my partner at this time, or band or drama or theater and so many things. And at the very end, right, like this is before she got really, really sick. She just told me, thank you. She's like, I've told you my story. And if I want to talk about like moments in my life that have pushed me to understand why a story is important, this is one of them. From that moment, I realized like this is why I always ask like, what is your story, right? Because where have you been and where are you going, and where is that story going for you? Because at that point in time, when she told me that is my story, she's like, you're the only person that I've told everything to, that I felt comfortable sharing and opening up with and telling you 101,000 different things, like, the good, the bad, the ugly, the in between. And I realized, like, hey, you know what? Like, our stories, the way that we tell our stories, our narratives carry a deep, bigger meaning. She started going in and out for quite a bit of time, and she started thinking that I was one of her kids. And, 101,000 different things ended up happening from there. But the stories that we conceptually, being there for people and genuinely caring about them, you don't know how much of an impact your words have, and how much of an impact you being there for people will always have. It might be for just one moment, or it might be for the rest of their life. I share that with you guys because earlier, throughout this month, throughout this week, throughout this everything, again, small stories. You guys know almost every time that I can, I talk about like one of my biggest efforts is trying to go ahead and help the homeless population. Long time ago, met an individual, homeless, had severe substance use addiction, whatnot. Shared a pizza with him one time, asked him, what is your story? He opened up, he shared all of his story. We talked about pathways to change. Earlier this month, he comes through and he's looking significantly better. And he tells me, you're the only person who treated me like a person during that time. When you came and you talked to me and I shared my story with you, I felt like a human being again. And I felt like I could stand up and start going and doing things again. And he did. He now has a house. He now has kids. He started working. And I'm like, fuck, dude. Fuck. Sometimes all it takes is for us to be there for people and treat people right. And sometimes just carry their story for a bit and listen to them. Sorry, I don't mean to go all fucking all into this, but it's, yeah, it is what it is. Sorry, boys. So yes, listen to people, carry their stories, please. Know how you are, Reflow. Hmm. Oh. Oh. Oh, right. Oh, oh. Mm. Mm. Guerrilla warrior. Winton coming into Frieren. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here. Winton is coming into Frieren. Oh God. Oh God. Winton. They made them call him that. Right. Magical sort of. Ooh. This really has been a long journey, Chad. The comedic moments are much. It really is Flora Violet. It really, really is. Flora, you asked, how do we carry those memories of those we love when the details fade from the mind's eye? You find that truly what mattered was the impression they left behind, the way they changed you. There's a really, really good scene in Metal Gear Solid 2 that talks about it, right? Which is, what are we going to leave behind for the future? What are we going to throw for the future? Are we going to allow them to read our messy history, right? Because there are a couple of things that we can go ahead and pass on, which are meme scenes and genes, right? So sometimes we won't remember the exact details of things, but we can remember the impression or what happened, the results of what happened because of something, right? So for example, if you look back at a previous breakup, right, you might not necessarily be as angry or sad looking back, but you can look back and look at some of the impressionable moments in your life where that happened, right? So for example, like good and or bad moments and be like, yes, I am Ultimate Kiwami. It is such an important scene. And I really feel like doing a Metal Gear Solid dissection because we could go on for days, if not weeks of analysis on it. It is such a pivotal fucking scene into understanding, personal, if we're gonna call it like end game, right? Or personal existentialism through that. Have a nice Christmas. Have a happy holidays. Merry Christmas, Eliana. I appreciate it. That scene is amazing. It absolutely is, and I feel like it's often underscored. A lot of scenes are a lot of really really impactful scenes from that. But for example, if I were to ask for you guys, if someone were to read your history, who you are, who you came to be, where you came from, where you're going, what would you like them to read about? I'll be honest. I want you guys to read everything, like the good, the bad, the ugly, the in between, the boring, not so boring, the pretty good. I want you for you guys to truly understand everything is to take those impacts with it. Yeah, no, I'm gonna delete my internet history things. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I heard there's an F12 button on Opera GX as a emergency button. So yeah. Mm. No, I wish it was reflow. And Mr. Gorilla Warrior. Mm. Can't argue with the results. Wow. Okay, now this just feels like fucking Skyrim. At this point in time, I would be like, ma'am, we're in the Frieren world. I believe we're not in Skyrim. Stubborn old woman, side quest time. But here's the thing. Sometimes in life, the side quests are the most adventurous elements. Yeah. Sometimes those side quests are actually what allows us to grow and like truly evolve and become who we are. I'll mark the waypoint in your map floor. Yeah. It's pretty good though. Oh, damn! What is? Oh, that better not be a fucking mimic. Okay, she just feels like she's fucking overdoing it now. Side quests, get these adventurers killed. Side quests, take down Sephiroth. Take him down. Just take him down. What are you waiting for, Frieren? Are you not strong enough to take down Sephiroth? I'm not gonna open up about Mr. Gorilla Man. I never journaled regularly, but even with it told me how much I improved mentally. Oh, that's good. I mean, journaling is pretty good, and a lot of other aspects as well through that. Socially awkward. Oh. Hmm. She knows. Bro. Bro. Well, well, well. Well, well, well. Where have I seen that face before? Who could this be? Well, 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 chat. Honestly, it's pretty fucking ridiculous. Like in such a good way. What a good way of like putting this in here. They remind me of something, right? They remind me of someone that, Stark cuddled up with in bed. Right. Oof. Oof. The meme. Is that his friend? Oh no. So was Kraft then, because clearly there were kids back then, was Kraft one of the original heroes then? And if so, what did they save the world from? Because that makes it really, really interesting. If Frieren and her party gets to be statues, and Kraft and his team get to be statues as well, what happened back then? Like, what was the big bad that they took around, they took out that they became heroes like this? Goodbye. John. Right. Right. Oh. Oh. Goatee priest. Oof. Interesting how as a kid, right, it was all mossy and whatnot, and the priest didn't force him to do it. But as an adult, and now that he's like out here with the party and he's trying to find himself, now he has to clean the statue and polish it and make sure that it looks nice of these ancient warriors that sort of started off his quest. Love this cyclical storytelling. Love the way that we can influence that. Like, oh, maybe the smug throne elf is the goddess. Nah. Oh, oof. So they did all of this quest, right? This quest that comes through just to get a tiny droplet of information. They've been going out, risking their lives, facing chickens nests, and everyone's been doing it without really raising up any concerns because sometimes that's what you do for friends or family. For a droplet of like, oh yeah, you've been mentioned a lot too, and this is what I saw, and this is what I heard. Man, that takes a lot of commitment. That takes a lot of like actually being a part of like the group that you are in, right? Of like actually being a major component in all of that. This is why I love this storytelling because sometimes you can really just feel the process of what's happening and feel the process of growth and feel the process of togetherness between all of these individuals. Like, whoa, whoa. Oh, is he gonna split? Oof. No, not this episode. I feel like the past couple of episodes have hit stronger and stronger, and and it's not okay. It is not okay. Maybe they got some EXP in the process, plus they got to have that 100% completion, apparently. But Frieren, I don't know what else to say other than like the setting up of the story. A lot of times for a core, what would we get? Right? They ended it like that. And this is why I actually prefer. I like this way of ending it. Like, don't get me wrong, Minutes in the Shadow, the way it ended it, fucking top tier, right? But this one, it's following its narrative structure. It's following the world continuing, right? Where it's like, hey, it's just a long journey. This is where it ends. There's not going to be a happy resolution or a major cliffhanger. He's now got to process that just as much as you got to process that. And that is awesome. That is powerful. And that's why I'll go ahead and ask this, and I'll throw this up to you, which is, what do you do in life situations like this where you're torn in between two different decisions that you have to do? Stick with the current path that you're doing and your current friends, or split from them and go away or do something completely different than what you're doing. How comfortable are you in making those decisions? When one journey ends, another begins. Are you that type, Flora? Or are you more of the type of like, I'm just going to let life ride by and see what comes through it? Sometimes a lot of people get like decision paralysis and they don't know what to do. It's kind of a cliffhanger, but we have a lot of those from Frieren. We do. We really, really do. This is what I'm saying. It's a really, really impactful episode from Frieren. And it's interesting, the fact that it delves into all of these different concepts, and it brings up a lot of like heartfelt moments. Like, I didn't expect to cry this episode. I didn't expect to be fucking teary-eyed throughout the entire thing. But it still brings up those elements of like, hey, this is a very real show, and we're taking it slow. You know, you're not going to have action 99% of the time. You're just going to have to sit here, process it, and deal with it. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that because sometimes we don't get a resolution. Sometimes we don't get a happy ending. And sometimes the only thing that we have with us is our memories. Whew. Powerful fucking shit, dude. Powerful, powerful shit. Wow.